这个故事如果你听起来不累，那么你的英语能力在美国日常生活是完全够用的，对别人表达自己的想法也是没有问题的。像学母语一样学英语，我们开始吧。
84 days. That was a very long time to catch no fish. For 84 days, the old fisherman Santiago took his little boat far out on the big blue sea, and every single day he came home with nothing. Would tomorrow, day 85, be just another quiet, empty trip? A boy named Manolin loved the old man very much. Manolin was young, Santiago was old. Manolin used to go fishing with Santiago in his boat. Santiago taught Manolin how to fish. They were good friends. They talked about many things, but Santiago was not catching fish now. So Manolin's father and mother said Manolin must go on a different boat. They wanted Manolin to be on a boat that caught many fish. Manolin was sad. He did not want to leave Santiago, but he had to obey his father and mother. Still, Manolin helped Santiago when he could. He would help carry the old man's fishing lines. He would help carry the heavy mast from his boat. The mast was like a big, long wooden pole for the sail. Sometimes Manolin brought food for Santiago. Sometimes he brought coffee. Santiago, Manolin would say, tomorrow will be a good day. You will catch a big fish. The old man would smile. His eyes were the color of the sea. They were kind eyes. They were not sad eyes. Yes, he would say, maybe tomorrow. They liked to talk about baseball. Santiago loved a baseball player named Joe DiMaggio. He thought Joe was the best. He thought Joe was very strong and never gave up, even when things were hard. On the 85th day, Santiago woke up very early. It was still dark. The moon was in the sky. He went to his little shack by the sea. He got his fishing things ready. Manolin came to help him. The boy's feet were bare. He walked quietly. Today I will go far out, Santiago said. His voice was quiet too. I will go far out in the big sea. I wish I could go with you, Santiago, Manolin said. No, boy, you are with a lucky boat now, Santiago said. Stay with them. Manolin gave Santiago some small, fresh fish. These small fish were for bait to put on the hooks to catch a big fish. Manolin wished the old man good luck. Santiago put the mast on his shoulder. He carried it down to his little boat. He put the boat in the water. He started to row. He rowed out of the quiet harbor. He rowed into the dark sea. The sun was not up yet. Santiago rowed and rowed. He rowed for a long time. The land where his village was got smaller and smaller. Then he could not see the land anymore. The sea was very big. The sea was very blue. The sun came up. It was a warm sun. Santiago put his fishing lines in the water. The lines went down, down, deep into the dark water. One line went very, very deep. He put fresh bait on each hook. He hoped a big fish would find his bait. He watched his lines. He was very patient. He watched the sea. He saw birds flying. He saw small fish jumping. The sun climbed higher in the sky. It got hotter. Still no fish. The old man was alone in a small boat. But he was not lonely. He loved the sea. He knew the sea very well. He thought about many things. He thought about when he was a young boy in Africa. He remembered seeing lions playing on the beach. They were golden and strong. He often dreamed of the lions. Then one of his fishing lines moved. It pulled down hard. A fish, Santiago whispered. A big one. He held the line with his hands. The line pulled and pulled. It was a very strong fish. It was a very big fish. Santiago could not pull it up. The fish began to swim away, pulling the line, and because the line was tied to the boat, the fish began to pull the little boat too. It is a very big fish, Santiago said to himself. I have hooked a very big fish. The fish pulled the boat slowly but steadily. It pulled the boat to the northwest. Santiago could not see land at all now. He held the line over his shoulder and across his back to make it easier, but the line was tight. It cut into his hands. His hands started to hurt. The sun went down. It was night. The fish still pulled the boat. Santiago was tired. His back hurt. His hands hurt. He was thirsty. He was hungry, but he held the line. He would not let go. Fish, he said softly to the dark water, I will stay with you until I am dead. He wished Marlin was with him. The boy was strong. The boy could help him, but he was alone. The next day came. The sun came up. The fish still pulled the boat. It had not tired. Santiago was very tired. His hands were cut and bleeding now. The line felt like a fire in his hands. He ate a little piece of raw fish. He had to give himself strength. He drank a little water. He looked at his left hand. It was cramping. It was closed up tight like a claw. Hand, he said, please open. Please work for me. He made his hand open. It hurt very much. Sometimes the fish pulled harder. Sometimes it pulled a little less, but it never stopped. Santiago never stopped holding the line. He felt a strange love for the fish. It was so big, so strong, so beautiful. He thought of it as his brother in the sea. Fish, he said, I love you and I respect you very much, but I will kill you dead before this day ends. He had to. That was his job as a fisherman. He thought about the great Joe. Did Joe's hands hurt when he played baseball? Yes, Santiago thought his hands must hurt too. But Joe kept playing. He was a champion. Santiago wanted to be a champion too. On the third day, the fish began to circle. This was a sign that it was getting tired. Santiago was very, very tired too, but he knew this was his chance. He pulled the line slowly, slowly. His whole body hurt. Then he saw the fish. It jumped out of the water. It was huge. It was bigger than his boat. Its skin was purple and silver in the sun. It was the biggest fish Santiago had ever seen in his whole life. It was so beautiful. He is a great fish, Santiago thought. The fish swam closer to the boat. Santiago got his harpoon ready. The harpoon was a long spear with a sharp point. He needed all his strength now. When the fish came right next to the boat, Santiago lifted the harpoon high. He pushed it down with all his might into the side of the big fish. The fish jumped high out of the water. It was full of pain. Then it fell back into the sea and was still. It floated on its side. The water around it turned red with its blood. Santiago had won. He had caught the great fish. He was too tired to feel happy. He just felt done. The fish was too big to pull into his little boat. So Santiago tied it to the side of the boat. He put up his small sail. The wind would help him get home. He thought about how much money the fish would bring. He thought about how proud Marlin would be. But the blood from the big fish spread out in the water. It was a signal. An hour later, the first shark came. It was a mako shark. It was very big and fast. It had many sharp teeth. It came straight for the dead marlin, Santiago shouted. He took his harpoon. He had pulled it from the marlin, and when the shark bit into the marlin, Santiago hit the shark hard with the harpoon. He hit its brain. The shark twisted and then sank down into the dark water. But the shark had taken a very big bite from the marlin, and Santiago had lost his harpoon. The shark had taken it when it sank. Now what will I do? Santiago thought. He felt a deep sadness. It was like the shark had attacked him too. More blood was in the water now. 2 more sharks came. They were not mako sharks. They were shovel-nosed sharks. They were also big and hungry. Santiago tied his knife to the end of an oar. He made a new weapon. He fought the sharks. He hit one in the eye. He hit the other one too. He killed them, but they also took big pieces of meat from his marlin. I wish this was a dream, the old man said. He sailed on. He knew more sharks would come, and they did. A group of them came. They attacked the fish from all sides. Santiago fought them with his knife on the oar. He fought hard. He was very brave. He killed some, but there were too many. They kept coming. His knife broke. Now he only had the tiller, the wooden stick he used to steer his boat. He hit the sharks with the tiller. He hit their heads. He hit them as hard as he could, but the sharks were too many and too strong. They tore away almost all the meat from the big fish. It was dark now. Santiago could not see the sharks anymore, but he could hear them. He knew they were eating everything. He felt beaten. He felt very tired. He had nothing left to fight with. Fight them, he said to himself. I'll fight them until I die. But there was nothing more he could do. The sharks left when there was no more meat to eat. Santiago sailed his boat back to his village. He got there very, very late at night. No one saw him. He pulled his little boat up on the beach. He looked at what was left of his great fish. Only its long white backbone was there, and its tail, and its head with the long spear, nothing else. The old man was so tired he could hardly walk. He took down the mast of his boat. It was very heavy. He put it on his shoulder and started to walk up the hill to his little shack. He had to stop and rest 5 times before he got there. He felt like he was carrying a giant cross. He got to his shack. He leaned the mast against the wall. He got into his bed. He pulled the blanket over him. He fell into a very deep sleep. In the morning, Marlin came to the shack. He looked in. He saw Santiago sleeping. He looked so tired. Marlin saw the old man's hands. They were cut very badly. Marlin started to cry. He went out quietly and got some hot coffee for Santiago. Other fishermen were down by the beach. They were looking at the skeleton of the big fish tied to Santiago's boat. It was so long. They had never seen such a big fish skeleton. They were amazed. One fisherman measured it. It was 18 feet long from its nose to its tail. Marlin came back with the coffee. Santiago woke up. They beat me, Marlin, Santiago said. They truly beat me. They didn't beat you, Marlin said. I'm not the fish. No, Santiago said. It was after. Marlin looked at Santiago's hands. We must make them better. He told Santiago he would bring him food and medicine. He said he would fish with Santiago again. Your father won't like it, Santiago said. I do not care, Marlin said. I will bring the luck with me. We will fish together. The old man felt a little bit of warmth in his heart. Thank you, he said. He was very sleepy. He closed his eyes. Soon he was dreaming again. He was dreaming of the lions on the beach in Africa. They were playing in the golden sand, young and strong.
你太棒了，你学完了全部内容，你离英语自由又近了一步，下个视频见。